Sahih al-Bukhari. Pilgrims prevented from completing the pilgrimage. Sahih al-Bukhari. Pilgrims prevented from completing the pilgrimage. Narrated Nafi. When Abdullah bin Umar set out for Mecca intending to perform Umrah, at the time of afflictions, he said, "If I should be prevented from reaching the Kaaba, then I would do the same as Allah's Messenger did. So I assumed the Ihram for Umrah as Allah's Messenger assumed the Ihram for Umrah in the year of Hudaybiyah." Sahih al-Bukhari 1806. Reference 27. Hadith 1. Sahih al-Bukhari. Pilgrims prevented from completing the pilgrimage. Narrated Nafi. That Ubaidullah bin Abdullah and Salim bin Abdullah informed him that they told Ibn Umar when Ibn az-Zubair was attacked by the army, saying, "There is no harm for you if you did not perform Hajj this year. We are afraid that you may be prevented from reaching the Kaaba." Ibn Umar said, "We set out with Allah's Messenger and the non-believers of Quraysh prevented us from reaching the Kaaba, and so the Prophet slaughtered his hadi and got his head shaved." Ibn Umar added, "I make you witnesses that I have made Umrah obligatory for me. And, Allah willing, I will go, and then if the way to Kaaba is clear, I will perform the tawaf. But if I am prevented from going to the Kaaba, then I will do the same as the Prophet did while I was in his company." Ibn Umar then assumed Ihram for Umrah from Dhul Hulayfa and proceeded for a while and said, "The conditions of Umrah and Hajj are similar, and I make you witnesses that I have made Umrah and Hajj obligatory for myself." So, he did not. Sahih al-Bukhari 1807. Reference 27. Hadith 2. Sahih al-Bukhari. Pilgrims prevented from completing the pilgrimage finish the Ihram till the day of Nar. Slaughtering came, and he slaughtered his hadi. He used to say, "I will not finish the Ihram till I perform the tawaf, one tawaf on the day of entering Mecca. That is of Safa and Marwa for both Umrah and Hajj." Sahih al-Bukhari 1807. Reference 27. Hadith 2. Sahih al-Bukhari. Pilgrims prevented from completing the pilgrimage. Narrated Nafi. Some of the sons of Abdullah told him, that is Abdullah, if he had stayed and not performed Hajj that year. Sahih al-Bukhari 1808. Reference 27. Hadith 3. Sahih al-Bukhari. Pilgrims prevented from completing the pilgrimage. Narrated Ibn Abbas. Allah's Messenger was prevented from performing Umrah. Therefore, he shaved his head and had sexual relations with his wives and slaughtered his hadi and performed Umrah in the following year. Sahih al-Bukhari 1809. Reference 27. Hadith 4. Sahih al-Bukhari. Pilgrims prevented from completing the pilgrimage. Narrated Salim. Sad face. Abdullah bin Umar used to say, "Is not the following of the tradition of Allah's Messenger sufficient for you? If any one of you is prevented from performing Hajj, he should perform the tawaf of the Kaaba and between As-Safa and Al-Marwa and then finish the Ihram, and everything will become legal for him which was illegal for him during the state of Ihram. And he can perform Hajj in a following year, and he should slaughter a hadi or fast in case he cannot afford the hadi." Sahih al-Bukhari 1810. Reference 27. Hadith 5. Sahih al-Bukhari. Pilgrims prevented from completing the pilgrimage. Narrated al-Miswar. Allah's Messenger slaughtered the hadi before he had his head shaved, and then he ordered his companions to do the same. Sahih al-Bukhari 1811. Reference 27. Hadith 6. Sahih al-Bukhari. Pilgrims prevented from completing the pilgrimage. Narrated Nafi. That Abdullah and Salim said to Abdullah bin Umar, "You should not go for Hajj this year." Abdullah bin Umar replied, "We set out with the Prophet to Mecca for performing Umrah, and the infidels of Quraysh prevented us from reaching the Kaaba. Allah's Messenger slaughtered his budden, camels for sacrifice, and got his head shaved." Sahih al-Bukhari 1812. Reference 27. Hadith 7. Sahih al-Bukhari. Pilgrims prevented from completing the pilgrimage narrated Nafi. When Abdullah bin Umar set out for Mecca with the intentions performing Umrah in the period of afflictions, he said, "If I should be prevented from reaching the Kaaba, then I would do the same as we did while in the company of Allah's Messenger." So, he assumed the ihram for Umrah since the Prophet had assumed the ihram for Umrah in the year of Al-Hudaybiyah. Then Abdullah bin Umar thought about it and said, "The conditions for both Hajj and Umrah are similar." He then turned towards his companions and said, "The conditions of both Hajj and Umrah are similar, and I make you witnesses that I have made the performance of Hajj obligatory for myself along with Umrah." He then performed one tawaf, between As-Safa and Al-Marwa, for both of them, that is Hajj and Umrah, and considered that to be sufficient for him and offered a hadi. Sahih al-Bukhari 1813 reference 27 Hadith 8. Sahih al-Bukhari. Pilgrims prevented from completing the pilgrimage narrated Abdur Rahman bin Abu Layla. Kabi bin Ujra said that Allah's Messenger said to him, "Kabi, perhaps your lice have troubled you?" Kabi replied, "Yes, O Allah's Messenger." Allah's Messenger said, "Have your head shaved and then either fast 3 days or feed 6 poor persons or slaughter 1 sheep as a sacrifice." Sahih al-Bukhari 1814 reference 27 Hadith 9. Sahih al-Bukhari. Pilgrims prevented from completing the pilgrimage narrated Kabi bin Umrah. Allah's Messenger stood beside me at Al-Hudaybiyah and the lice were falling from my head in great number. He asked me, "Have your lice troubled you?" I replied in the affirmative. He ordered me to get my head shaved. Kabi added, "This holy verse, 'And if any of you is ill, or has ailment in his scalp,' 2.196, etc. was revealed regarding me. The Prophet then ordered me either to fast 3 days, or to feed 6 poor persons with 1 farak, 3 sas, of dates, or to slaughter a sheep, etc., sacrifice, whatever was available. Sahih al-Bukhari 1815 reference 27 Hadith 10. Sahih al-Bukhari. Pilgrims prevented from completing the pilgrimage narrated Abdullah bin Makal. I sat with Kabi bin Ujra and asked him about the fidya. He replied, "This revelation was revealed concerning my case especially, but it is also for you in general. I was carried to Allah's Messenger and the lice were falling in great number on my face. The Prophet said, 'I have never thought that your ailment, or struggle, has reached to such an extent as I see. Can you afford a sheep?' I replied in the negative. He then said, 'Fast for 3 days, or feed 6 poor persons each with half a saw of food. 1 saw equals 3 kilograms approximately.'" Sahih al-Bukhari 1816 reference 27 Hadith 11. Sahih al-Bukhari. Pilgrims prevented from completing the pilgrimage narrated Abdur Rahman bin Abu Layla sad face. Reporting the speech of Kabi bin Umrah. Allah's Messenger saw him, that is Kabi, while the lice were falling on his face. He asked him, "Have your lice troubled you?" He replied in the affirmative. So, he ordered him to get his head shaved while he was at Al-Hudaybiyah. At that time they were not permitted to finish their ihram, and were still hoping to enter Mecca. So, Allah revealed the verses of Al-Fidyah. Allah's Messenger ordered him to feed 6 poor persons with 1 farak of food or to slaughter 1 sheep, as a sacrifice, or to fast for 3 days. Sahih al-Bukhari 1817 reference 27 Hadith 12. Sahih al-Bukhari. Pilgrims prevented from completing the pilgrimage narrated Kab bin Ujra, Ra. Allah's Messenger saw him, that is Kab, while the lice were falling on his face. Sahih al-Bukhari 1818 reference 27 Hadith 13. Sahih al-Bukhari. Pilgrims prevented from completing the pilgrimage narrated Abu Huraira. Allah's Messenger said, "Whoever performs Hajj to this house, Kaaba, and does not approach his wife for sexual relations nor commits sins, while performing Hajj, he will come out as sinless as a newly born child, just delivered by his mother." Sahih al-Bukhari 1819 reference 27 Hadith 14. Sahih al-Bukhari. Pilgrims prevented from completing the pilgrimage narrated Abu Hurairah. The Prophet said, "Whoever performs Hajj to this Kaaba and does not approach his wife for sexual relations nor commit sins, while performing Hajj, he will come out as sinless as a newborn child, just delivered by his mother." Sahih al-Bukhari 1820 reference 27 Hadith 15.